to the first of hopefully a regular series of video podcasts from Manaleak.com here in the UK. Here we've got Mike Thornton. My name's David Baldelli. We're going to talk about Mike's take on Jund for the upcoming Nationals qualifier. You've taken a bit of a different direction with it, Mike. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I find trying to get to 5 mana was very hard, so I've decided to go 2 or 3 mana casting cost cards and just go for basically Beatdown. It's like a red burn with the power of Jund backing it up, which obviously Jund is very powerful back to have.
So it's like a hasty aggro Jund.
Very much so.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So let's see what we've got. We've got Putrid Leech.
Yep.
Lightning,
Staple
Friday.
cards, that's
So
right.
these are like staple Jund cards, aren't they? Obviously Blood Braid.
Yeah.
3 pulses, which everyone's pretty much decided on now.
Yeah.
Sort of ubiquitous lightning bolts. But then you've got Hell's Thunder.
That's right.
Hellspark Elemental.
That's right, with the basically for the unearth ability, really, because that stops if people kill the creature or counterspell it. It's going to come back in your face.
Well, also I think you find they've got trample, haven't they? Well, the
Mine's got
Hellspark's got
trample,
trample. This has got fly, so they're getting past these green decks, noble hierarchs.
That's right.
Like that,
you know, they block with a 1/1 token. They're still going to take 2, and you know they're going to have to block with all 3. Otherwise, they're going to take 2 damage, and you know they're quite good against Goblin Siege Clan Commander Goblin tokens as well.
And all 4 terminates.
Yeah, I used to run 3, which is like the standard sort of Jund pile, but of course I used to also use Bituminous Blast, that's correct. But they had to come out because they had the 5 mana and they seem to do less and less removal these days, and of course when you cascade off them they usually go into something you don't really want.
Yeah, I mean you don't want to be cascading into these on their turn, do you?
No.
They're not sticking around. So.
That's right. So you really needed another removal card, and you know, when someone casts their the angel, you really want to kill that on sight.
Yeah. Fantastic. Right, so you quite like this, don't you? You prefer this over, you prefer the Lava Claw Reaches over the
I do,
Raging
yeah.
Beams as well.
Lots of reasons. So just, you can obviously activate it when you've got 4 land, obviously including itself, rather than 5 land. And if someone does get the the Shrouded Turtle, as we call it,
snapper.
That's right, the snapper. It's a threat that I can actually block it. So then when they do the landfall, say I'm going to hit you for 4, I don't want to be hit by 4. It's a sort of little threat.
Yeah.
And obviously later on you can actually pump it up. If I've got 7 land on the table, I can pump it up to be quite a large.
It's a nice mana dump, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you've got, I think we said 8 mana on the table, I can create 2 creatures.
Yeah.
You know, double threat sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Fantastic. Right. So, what sort of like your ideal starting position? Obviously, your Hellsparks are good. Leeches are good for your opening hand.
Yeah, the idea is you really do need a couple of removal would be nice. You know, lightning bolt, terminate, and a pulser's backup would be ideal. I mean, I'm quite happy to have 3 bolts in the opening hand, which just seems to happen quite a lot for some strange reason. But you know, you need a couple of removals, a couple of cheap casting cost creatures, and a blind would be really nice.
And then you want to draw into the Blood Braid.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have one in your opening hand because you know you're going to cast it eventually. You know, it's really getting the land ideally in your opening hand, and what I've tried to do is use the creature lands as dual lands basically. That's what I'm really using them for.
So they're not in traditional Jund lists. They're extra spells, aren't they? Whereas in here, they're sort of just splash damage really.
That's right.
If you can activate them as a creature, all the better.
Yeah. I'm finding by the time I really want to generate these as a creature, they're practically dead anyway. Yeah. You know, they're really there as extra backup. It's nice. If someone's gone and, you know, against another Jund deck, they've gone blighty, and I've got no cards, I've got 5 land on the table, it's like, I wish I had a creature land, that's when they're good.
So talk us through your sideboard a little bit and your matchups. So
sideboard's always been changing, and you know, the decks are changing all the time, but currently...
So 4 death marks.
That's right, yeah. I mean, they're obviously good against all sorts of the standard stuff, but they're really good against the pro red.
Core Firewalker.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, he's going to be a problem now because it's a red heavy red heavy build.
Well, the problem is the terminates having a red source in there. I can't terminate them when they equip them with you know, all sorts of equipments, artifacts. I can't kill them. I wouldn't take the bolts out because they obviously kill the pro black ones.
Yeah.
And of course, with the pro black and the pro red in their deck, these are no good. So I'll take these out, put those in, and you know, I prefer the terminates if I could use those, but obviously I can't.
Sure. And duress against control?
Against control, yeah. Blue's been rediscovered. We thought they were going to scrap that colour at one time, you know, but you know, with the new J, so we went mad for it. It's a nice card if you come across a blue player. Control's always good, and when you get to top 8, you really do need to take a few stable cards out.
Anathemancer.
Yeah, that's...
Saw a lot of play a couple about 6 months ago with 5 blue control, making a reappearance.
Yeah, Jund, normal Jund, should we say, rather than my bizarre version, should we say, has a lot of dual lands.
So it's for the mirror?
It's for the mirror match, yes. So I'll take 3 cards out, put them in.
So I'm guessing you're planning its mirrors to race?
Yeah, I should be a lot faster than normal Jund because their mana curve seems to be about 5 or 6, you know, obviously apart from the staple cards, but they don't really get any serious threats until 5 or 6 mana's on the table, and obviously they might have trouble. I know they have, you know, rampant growths or the other cards to get extra lands out. Obviously I haven't got to waste my spaces for that, and that's what it's for.
So,
and obviously with the unearth threat later on is quite scary. I mean, when you first cast them, you usually do about 2 damage, but later on it's pretty lethal.
Now these are interesting to me. You don't see these around too much. Goblin Outlander.
Yeah, well,
Pro white.
that's right. That's 4 or 5 months ago when white was really dominant. I put them in, not in a Jund deck, it was on a different deck, and I just realised they can't do it, they can't path it, they can't block it.
Just beating them at their own game with these white knights and core firewood.
Exactly, yeah, you don't need first strike, you know, because you know, protection is just as good, and just they really can't do with it, yeah. And obviously if I cast it on turn 2, I'll just keep nipping in for 2, nipping in for 2, nipping in for 2, and of course I'm bolting and blightning and you know, and obviously get the old Hell's Thunder out. It's just...
Again, it's just racing.
It's racing. It's guaranteed 2 damage every turn, where they just can't do it. They'll do a Wrath of God, great, when they're going to get with their own creatures. I don't mind.
So you're taking this to Nationals qualifier next week?
Yeah, I'm taking it to National qualifiers in Southampton. I'm pretty confident I'll get in the top 8, depending on obviously how many players turn up, you know, because obviously 1 player per 8, you know, 1 place per 8 players. So there's only 16, there's only 2 spots, you know, etc, etc. So I'm hoping to qualify the first chance I get, I think.
And you're going to come back and tell us how you do?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not going to come back, oh yeah, here we go, I've got 2 land on the table, or you know, those kind of scenarios, but I'm pretty confident. It does seem to play quite well. You have to really concentrate on which lands to play in your opening hand, you know, because you have to think to yourself, I might have a Putrid Leech, so if you get one of these and one of those, you basically
you have to anticipate your draws. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Yeah, you must anticipate what might come out, because you really want to get the Putrid Leech down turn 3 probably. You know, depending on you get these first, because you can cast these later on. You know, these you know, you don't really have to cast them straight away. I mean, these are pretty sick. I mean, when you go from a Bloodbraid Elf into one of these at 7 damage, you know, and it's quite scary, especially if you cast one first, then do a Bloodbraid Elf into another one. It's like, oh dear, scary.
And then you've got extra spells in your graveyard.
That's right, extra spells. It's basically reuse spells. Jund's always, the power of Jund is always like, you know, you're going to get more than one thing out of every spell.
So you carried on with the 2-for-1 theme, but you've sped up the clock.
That's right. I mean, obviously, it can't be, if someone counters a creature, I don't mind, because I can just get it out again. Fantastic.
Well, I think we're all done there.
Yeah,
we're signing off to Mike, and we wish him luck.
Yes, I hope I do well.
That's all from us. See you next time.
Bye-bye.